What up, folks? This your boy GQ, the Shy Boy, coming at you with another episode of Talk That Mess, the gentleman's perspective to shit that happens. Today is December 4th, 2018, but it's also Transformation Tuesday. So, ladies, gentlemen, I want to impress upon you a little bit of my experience, and hopefully you get a little glimmer of inspiration or motivation behind it. And if you did, please feel free to let me know so I can keep that shit up. You feel me? But other than that, we're going to get right into it. Listen up. I got something to say. Listen up. I got something to say. Peter Piper pick a pepper, and I drop rhymes, and I'ma talk that shit, cause I back mine. So don't sleep, listen up, I got something to say. Rise up, live life, and keep the haters at bay.
Hey.
But I'ma talk that shit.
Hey.
But I'ma talk that shit.
Hey.
But I'ma talk that shit. Nothing can make you a failure without your consent. This was wisdom given to me by my very first mentor, my 11th grade history teacher, Mr. Palmlies. We used to call him Mr. P. Now, this is a side note for anybody listening to this right now. But if you remember Mr. P or Mr. Palmlies and you went to Mary D. Bradford in Kenosha, Wisconsin, holla at your boy, because I want to give him his roses while he could smell them and let him know what an impact that he had on my life. You feel me? I think that's a good practice that everybody should follow. But anyway, Mr. P was like 40-something, average build and height. I think he was German-American, and he always sported a Marine-style high and tight haircut. Now, what made him so unique is that he would never miss an opportunity to instill wisdom in his students, whether we wanted to hear that shit or not. But that's why I respected Mr. P. He cared when most teachers didn't. He went the extra mile when most teachers didn't. To get on my philosophical shit for a second, your thoughts, our thoughts, my thoughts, is like the wind, and knowledge is the sail. And you and I, we're merely vessels. Now, as individuals, we're all unique, just like snowflakes. And I'm sure most of you know how cold it can be when the wind blows, especially when you fight in adversity, an uphill battle. There's always beauty in the struggle. Now, in this moment, before I get into my story, I just want to impart on you the same wisdom my mentor gave me. Nothing can make you a failure without your consent. It's Transformation Tuesday, goddammit. So as you pull up your bootstraps and you get ready to brave that cold and bitter reality that waits outside your door, dress appropriately. Do not be too concerned with the wind that blows. It's not the blowing of the wind, but the setting of the sail, the setting of that sail that determines how we arrive or if we arrive to our destination. Even though I'm turning 40 next year, I still can remember when I was a teenager like it was yesterday. And it's funny, when I think about my teen years, what sticks out to me the most is my 11th grade high school year. It wasn't because I was a great student or anything like that. I was actually a terrible student. Man, I took 2 lunches instead of 1 lunch every single day, man. And it's not because I had a weight problem and I couldn't wait to eat. Hell no. During the second period lunch, we would skip American history class to play cards. We bust spades like it was a straight spades tournament every single day. And it's funny because even though we was teenagers, we felt like adults because we was in there running it. We would play games with adults after hours, but in high school, that second lunch period, that was the spade. Everybody took the first lunch because we wanted to have that second lunch to play spades. Needless to say, it was like a common occurrence for people to skip class to bust spades, right? One fateful day, Mr. Palmlies, my history teacher, he ducks out of class to come find me, man. Like, you got 20 other students and you coming to look for me? And he rolled up on me and he was like, yo, man, can I talk to you? Quentin, can I talk to you? So I was like, all right, cool. Because I didn't want him to embarrass me in front of my friends. But, you know, he is my teacher, you know what I mean? And I was supposed to be in his class. So he comes to me and he was like, look, man, and he shakes his head. He was like, dude, nothing can make you a failure without your consent. Look, man, I know you're smart, but you're wasting your potential and you're failing my class. He's like, I see you down here playing cards. So you like games. This ain't a game. I'm giving you one shot to make it up and pass my class. Like any kid looking for a shortcut to get something that he really wants, I was all ears. Mr. P was like, if you beat me in a game of chess before the end of this semester, I'll give you an A. I'm like, I don't even know how to play chess. I play spades, Mr. P. He was like, I'm going to teach you how to play the game, but you got to be in my class every day. That's the deal. To which I agreed. Now, we played chess after class every day. And by playing chess, I learned 4 principles. 4 principles that I use to this day, one of which I've already shared. Again, this is Transformation Tuesday. So, man, jot this shit down. This is a keynote right here. Number 1, patience really is a virtue. Number 2, you got to be present in the moment and in the mind, especially if you give your attention to something. Number 3, positioning is just as important as moving with purpose. And number 4, nothing can make you a failure without your consent. That's what I never forget. That's why I want to reach out to him and give him his roses while he can smell them. Because those are principles that I use to this day. It's changed my life. And now I'm using it with my kids. Inquiring minds may want to know, yes, I got really good playing chess, but did I ever beat Mr. P? Hell no. However, by the end of that semester, I did pass this class with a B+. That's the message right there. The purpose was to get a passing grade, but I positioned myself in that moment and in my mind to be open, to not consent to failure. And he never gave up on me. This was the first step in my leadership walk. Now, to jump on my philosophical shit again, there's beauty in everything, but everybody can't see it. I learned that Mr. P was a visionary. It's always others that see the potential in you before you see it in yourself. So sometimes when a person presents to you, they come in your realm, your personal space, and they want to impress upon you some insight that they think may benefit the trajectory of your life or the task or the goal that you're setting for yourself. And you don't absolutely know the motives. Sometimes you just got to be open to the experience, because sometimes people have been to the mountaintop to where you're trying to go, and they just want to shorten the path. That's their way of keeping karma present in their lives. Good karma. So just be open to the experience. But thinking back to my childhood, man, I'll never minimize the complexities, but it was beauty in that struggle. And that world was full of opportunity for a young man. I'm glad that I stayed on the path and I didn't make any hard, life-altering choices for the bad. You know what I'm talking about. And I firmly believe that, because like myself and many of you listening to this, we're one generation removed from the civil rights movement. So that means most of us, especially if we're African-American, have been a product of poverty and broken homes, sullied in fragments of traditional family values. But I have never given my consent to fail because my choices was difficult, because of who I was related to or raised with. All that shit is bullshit. You could be whatever you want to be in the world. Don't let anybody tell you anything else. Guess what? You could do it. You could do it. You could do whatever you make your mind up to do. And that's the God honest truth. We got so many examples of that in the world. So many people that are beating the odds, fighting adversity, rising up despite their circumstances. Whatever your challenges are, I want to impress upon you to merely apply the 4 principles that I learned in my life. Number 1, patience is a virtue. 2, be present in the moment and in the mind. Number 3, positioning is just as important as moving with purpose. And lastly, nothing can make you a failure without your consent. God bless. Listen up. I got something to say. Listen up. I got something to say. Peter Piper picked a pepper, and I drop rhymes. And I'ma talk that shit, cause I back wine. So don't sleep, listen up, I got something to say. Rise up, live life, and keep the haters at bay.
Hey.
But I'ma talk that shit.
Hey.
But I'ma talk that shit.